Hello, America. I want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of Truthbuster News. I'm your host, the Truthbuster. And here's your daily brief. Earlier today, I went to the Drudge report, saw some of the headlines, and I saw one that stuck out. It was titled, Trump, I'm a globalist, and I'm a nationalist. So I clicked the link, and Drudge linked the story from the Wallstreet Propaganda Journal. And I scanned through it before I had to get back to what I was doing. But I have to say that I'm not the least bit surprised, given the turnout of the last few weeks. So I'm going to read the article and let you be your own judge. Now, earlier I couldn't find, when I went back on the Drudge, the page was refreshed and I couldn't find the article. So I had to search elsewhere. Excuse me. And so I went to blacklistandnews.com. And they still have the article up at their main page. So I clicked the link from there and read through it. So let's begin. Trump, I'm a nationalist and a globalist. President Trump told the Wall Street Journal on Thursday, April 27th, he's both a nationalist and a globalist. President Donald Trump was prepared to end the North American Free Trade Agreement, known as NAFTA, which had governed relations for the past 24 years over nations with a dramatic announcement on Saturday at a Pennsylvania political rally marking his 100th day in office. As the rumors spread of the possible action, President Enrique Peña Nieto called the president, urging him not to pull out of the accord. Let me think about it, Trump said. And within a half hour came a call from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau with a similar request. After talks, Trump was convinced they're serious about it and they will negotiate rather than terminate. The president said in an interview with the Wall Street Journal on Thursday, watching the events play out, if enters a past warehouse to say Mr. Trump needs a more consistent and unified message. Part of the trouble may be that his White House is split into two factions. That with the nationalist wing, symbolized by Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, that is wary of multinational treaties and trade deals, and the more mainstream group known as the globalists that are comfortable with the ongoing trend of taking this nation and world further into globalization. The mainstream group has been actively sending messages to business leaders and other countries, even as they have been blocked into internal battles in Washington. One senior Toronto banker executive, Gary Kahn, and Stephen Mnuchin, former Goldman Sachs Group executives, now serving as chairman of the White House National Economic Council and as Treasury Secretary, respectively, have on a few occasions reached out to senior Canadian business officials in recent weeks to counsel them that despite the internal Trump administration divides over trade policies, they expected no significant NAFTA changes. This is a conspicuous White House, and we have to understand that this is going to split out into the spill out into the public, the Canadian baker said. Now, atop the pyramid is Mr. Trump, who in his 1987 book, The Art of the Deal, wrote that he values flexibility above all. I never get too attached to one deal or one approach, he said. Craig Fuller, who served 8 years in a former Ronald Reagan White House, said in an interview, "The trouble here is I don't see how you get a course correction when there isn't one. It's just rhetoric. He needs to go look at the two factions inside the White House and get rid of one of them. You can't operate that way in the White House." Mr. Trump dismissed the talks about a split inside his White House between A's with a nationalist or a globalist orientation. And this is a quote directly from his mouth. "Hey, I'm a nationalist and a globalist," he said. "I'm both. And I'm the only one who makes the decisions, believe me." So, really says a lot, doesn't it? Given the last few weeks and the decisions and actions and things he has said, speaks volumes that he is a globalist. And I remember time after time after time throughout his campaign run. You can still pull the clips up on YouTube. They're still out there. That he would put America and American interests first. Did he not? All the time he spoke on. That was his main goal, his main agenda, to restore the republic of this nation. Not only that, I read a headline the other day, yesterday, matter of fact, where Trump wants to empower the UN. You gotta be out of your freaking mind to continue to support him. See, I used to be a Trump supporter, but I snapped out of the trance quick. And no, my opinion and my thoughts are nowhere based upon liberal, leftist, democratic ideology, think tanks, none of the above. And I haven't read these articles, the attack articles they put on to persuade me. No, I did my own thinking, my own research. I'm still possibly going to give him a benefit of the doubt, but very little at all. Need I remind you that how evil and corrupt and satanic the UN is? They created the EU, and we all see what the EU has done across European nations, Europe itself. I mean, my God, just look at Britain. They put not elected scumbag politicians in place, put them in place to run and create havoc and hell throughout that part of the world. And now that they've finally broken free of the tyranny, the oppression, the slavery, they finally have a little room to breathe. Well, I'm sad to say the way things have been going, we're not gonna get that with Trump. He's flipped on everything he said. He said that he's gonna pull us out of NAFTA. Now he wants to negotiate it. And if they don't negotiate, then he'll terminate. But I can assure you, there's going to be very little negotiating going on or termination. Hell, these other scumbag leaders cry like a baby to Trump, and he caves. You know, Trump sure has some balls when he ran his campaign. Every rally, every speech he had is that he was going to take them full on and defeat them with our help. Well, he has sure lost his balls. They were cut the minute he got in the White House. Up until his inauguration, he said America first. But once he got in, boy, did we see a change. The false pretense on Syria. How he said he would not take us into another outcome that was already there. He sure flipped on that, thanks to Ivanka and Jared. And he's flipped on NAFTA. He's flipped on the UN. He said that the UN was not a friend to nobody. But now he wants to empower the UN. You know, I gave him a benefit of the doubt because he was surrounded by neocons and scumbags and just straight up satanic garbage in the White House. And despite the threats and blackmails that he has been giving, so I know that they've given it to him, he should have grabbed his balls and thought through it and did everything to protect and preserve the safety of his family and keep fighting the good fight. Now, I've heard, he knows what he's doing, the outcome. He's playing a role, or he is playing this, or he's acting this particular way, so that he can achieve what he set out to do in the long run. Well, time is running out. And now I know it takes time to get your agenda accomplished. But hell, don't say something if you're not going to do it. Don't even mention it. You know, all I want is a safe and free nation and world for my kids to grow up to be a success in, to feel safe, to be successful, and not to continue not have to go through what we have gone through. That's the experience of things we have. And I hope you want the same. I want to thank you for tuning in. Prep if you haven't done so already. Survive another day. God bless.